Brief greetings. Briefly, I want to speak on phrases that have a racist root, but I would like to express to the African American and Black people in the United States, where do they think they get the twerking from? From what continent does twerking come from? It's called Moruga, but it's an African trait. I think I have to get the correct name of what you call it. It starts with an M, but that's African. For those who say they don't want to have nothing to do with Africa, I bet you they can twerk up a storm. Okay, and sucking her teeth, that's Nigerian. So if you don't want to have anything to be with Africa, stop sucking your teeth. Okay, and appreciating reggae, leave that alone. But the first term is mumbo jumbo, and the British colonizers described that to the African um, colonized to the African tribe. They were colonized, and they had a spiritual leader that was called Mama Jambo, and this leader would solve the problems of the community. They would have ceremonies and community settlements, but the Caucasians, the colonizers, couldn't understand it. They never understand African culture, so they make fun of it and take away its value, take away its meaning. They made fun and they spreaded it throughout Europe. So when you hear someone say, oh, it's just some mumble jumble, it's something that they cannot understand. And they made fun of and made light of it, but it has strong ties to an African tribe spiritual leader solving the problems of that community. He solved the religion, the politics, and everything, but they made it ugly. Fuzzy wuzzy is another term, and the British soldiers used that in the late 1800s when they colonized the people of Sudan, the Hottentot people, and they had this African afro, and they from Sudan, so it was sort of wavy like, but they made fun of it and called it fuzzy wuzzy. They even had a cartoon, not cartoon, but a nursery rhyme making fun of it. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy was not fuzzy, was he? No, he was not. So they took it and made something out of it, because they take other people's ideas and dances and songs and gestures and make it theirs. And because they own the media and www, they could put it out as theirs when it has nothing to do with them. They didn't originate it. The next one is eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We all know that. And my parents heard us saying it out in the backyard. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. But originally it was eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nick by the toe. They changed it. So that's why knowledge is so important, because if you had knowledge of the true meaning of that rhyme, would you allow your children to say it in the backyard? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe, when you know they were talking about your people, your ancestors? No. And the word uppity is another term, and that was when colonizers didn't want black people to be equal with them in any kind of way. And whenever they said a black person was uppity, it led to violence and after that, lynching and death. because they figured that you were trying to be equal to them. So when they called you uppity, and we have to remember that when we call each other uppity, huh? We got to remember that. And don't allow your children to say any, meeny, miny, mo. There's another term. Yeah, when vets, black vets were returning from fighting in their wars, they considered them uppity and blinded them with the uniform on, lynched them with the uniform on. But black folks continue to go into the military. I'm going to end this and come back later with the grandfather in clause. Grandfather in phrase that had racial meaning. Peace if you can find it.